Mezcal is one of my absolute favorite spirits on this planet. And between you and I actually prefer Mezcal to most tequila out there, but shh, don't tell anyone. And in this video, I'm gonna be talking to you about my 3 current favorite brands of Mezcal on the market. What I wanted to really do with this video is that each of these brands that I'm gonna be showcasing uses a different variety of agave species, which will alter its taste. But all right, let's get right into it.
All right, so the first brand I want to talk about today is Asenda Oio. This one is a very interesting Mezcal brand. They are from Michoacan, which is a state in Mexico, which most of the Mezcal produced in Mexico comes from the state of Oaxaca. And these guys are trying to honor their local terroir, their local agave, and I think that's what makes it so fascinating to me, is that terroir really impacts agave. Agave takes a really long time to reach full maturity before it can be harvested and then cooked and then, turned into what you end up drinking. And so the amount of time it spends in the ground actually impacts the final flavor quite a lot. Now, this is where it's gonna get a little funky. This is just their regular espadín. I wanted to use this as a good excuse to talk about their other expressions. I had little bottles of them, but I drank them. So unfortunately, all we have right now is the espadín. What they're really famous for is a type of agave that is very local to Michoacan, which is I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now. Neaquidens, please don't murder me, people from Michoacan. I'm so sorry, I'm trying my best here. It's a very large agave, it's a giant agave, and it doesn't yield as much. And they do all of their stuff in a very craft method in a small farm in Michoacan. I really enjoy them, and it's more of an out there Mezcal. Now, their espadín, from what I know, is not super expensive, and it is a great espadín to use in a cocktail. So we're gonna sip this one and talk about what it tastes like. I love that because it's not just like a smoke bomb in your face. It's very subtle, it's beautiful and minerally. It's got a nice coating of the mouth, and then the smoke is like the last little thing that you taste, and it's just like a little sprinkle of smoke on the top just to make you keep wanting to drink more. Lovely, lovely stuff. If you can get their espadín, do it. It's so great. It works great in a cocktail. It's great by itself. Very, very tasty.
All right, so the next brand I want to talk about is Origen Raiz. This brand is really special. It's probably one of my absolute favorite things that I've discovered in the last 12 months or so, and it is absolutely incredible. This is a brand that came out of a partnership between 2 families. You have the Saravia family from Durango, which is a northern state in Mexico, and you also have the Cortez family from Oaxaca. Now, the Cortez family is responsible for a lot of incredible mezcals that you might know. One of them is El Jolgorio, as well as Nuestra Soledad. And they have about 6 generations of mezcal production under their belt. And the Saravia family in Durango, they have a conservation land, from what I understand, which is their farm where they grow wild agave that is natural to Durango. And so this mezcal is from the Cenizo agave, or I guess it's also known as the agave durangensis. I don't know how to say that, but commonly I think known as Cenizo, which is a incredible type of wild agave. Now, what I love about them is that what I was told from my rep is that this brand, they can only harvest 10% of the agave on their conservation land, or else they lose their conservation status. And so they basically entered into a partnership with this family, had an amazing farmland where they have this awesome wild grown agave, and this family that knew exactly how to produce killer mezcal, and they came together, and this is the result. And then I also have a little bottle of their mezcal that is it's using an espadín varietal, but this is actually not produced in Oaxaca, which I believe this one is. This one's produced in a tiny little village in Durango that takes forever to get to, and there's no real way to get there by car, I believe, where it's really difficult to get there by car, and it's incredible as well. But let's taste the regular Cenizo and talk about it. Ooh, it's got a very robust and almost like a sharp but fruity kind of bite to it on the nose. Oh man, those are some wild flavors, and I absolutely love it. So you get a good amount of smoke, some fruitiness. It coats your mouth beautifully and gives you this incredible sensation as you're drinking it. It's got this rich, sharp, fruity flavor, nice minerality, beautiful mouthfeel, which I cannot get enough of, and the right amount of smoke. Truly one of my absolute favorite bottles of mezcal I've ever had, and that's saying something because I love mezcal. Oh, what I didn't realize is that it's a 48% ABV. That's bomb. That's so good. Whew. Also, I love the artwork on these bottles. They are absolutely beautiful. All right, so before we get to the last brand I want to talk about, let's do a little honorable mention. So this Siete Misterios, it's not the most expensive bottle out there, the Do Bayej, and it's one that I've been enjoying quite a bit lately. I think it's like $45, $50. It comes in about 44% ABV. I love the artwork on the front. It really caught my eye, and I think it's a good juice. It's good stuff and not too expensive considering some of the other options are a little pricey. But now for the creme de la creme, my absolute favorite brand of mezcal at the moment and possibly of all time is Real Minero. Well, you might notice first off that it doesn't say mezcal anywhere on the bottle, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So Real Minero is a brand of mezcal from Oaxaca, from Santa Catarina, Minas in Oaxaca, and it's made by the Angeles family. They've been around for generations upon generations making mezcal, and they also have one of the largest and most diverse agave reforestation projects. And they have rescued several agave species that a lot of people had thought to have gone extinct. They love sustainability, and that's at the heart of their reforestation project, which I absolutely love. Now, let's talk about the actual product that we have right in front of us. This here is a Largo mezcal, which is using the agave species of Largo, or the Karwinski. And one of the things that makes them very different is you can see here there's a clay pot right on the front of the bottle there. They actually use clay pots to distill their mezcal. So that's super ancestral, super old school. And from what I was told by my rep is that they can only run a distillate through the clay pots twice before they break. And so super inefficient, but also gives you that incredible ancestral flavor that they're really looking for. And so why does it not say mezcal on the bottle? Well, so the family had been kind of feuding with the CRM, which is the governing body of mezcal in Mexico, for a very long time. And then in 2020, they said, you know what? We do not need the name mezcal on our bottles. And so they stopped contributing to the CRM and they removed the name mezcal from the bottle. But that does not mean that it is not a mezcal. It is made, nothing about their production process has changed other than removing that name. But all right, now that I've talked about all of that, let's talk about what's in the bottle. Let's give this a little sip. All right. So right on the nose, I'm getting, light smoke, a little bit of leather, some barbecue, but I also get this kind of like interesting peanut aroma to it. A little bit of blue cheese funk, which I love in a good mezcal, but not too much. It's not off-putting. It's just like, ooh, what is this little mystery we have there? Little light pepper notes as well. Absolutely adore that. It's got this beautiful mouthfeel. It's great minerally. It's got that nice funkiness to it, a light amount of smoke, really vegetal, very fruity. You get more of that like funky kind of flavor, but super enjoyable. Oh my gosh, this is stupidly good. I love this. Oh, and the average age of the agave used in this was 14 years old. That's crazy. They had to grow this for 14 years before they can make this amazing spirit. And it's just, the quality really comes through in the spirit. The amount of attention to detail, the amount of time it took to make this is just outstanding. Oh, so good. Hopefully this video gave you some great options to try, but you might be thinking to yourself, what even is mezcal? Well, I have a whole other video that you can check out right over here next.